Welcome back, Druids. This video is going to teach you how to gear up and play a dedicated healer. This video is part of a Druid Masterclass, and if you haven't seen that basics video yet, check the description so you can see all the other lessons that are available. So, you want to play a dedicated Druid support. Good news for you, this build is actually way better than most people think. Hopefully this video will shed some light on how powerful this build can be in the right hands. So let's get started with the basics. Druid healing is based around heals over time, aka HOTS. This means that a decent healer needs to be proactive instead of reactive, which takes a decent amount of game sense and practice. The only spot healing or burst healing that you have in your kit is Nature's Touch comboed with Dreamfire, which requires multiple hits and skill shots in a row both on your allies and your enemies to be effective. Combined with a limited resource pool and only 4 casts of each spell, you need to be a bit choosy on what spells you want to use and when. A great way to ease this learning curve is to play an appropriate composition for your build. You generally want to play with a beefy frontline team that goes front to back against enemy teams. Check the composition guide that I made in the description for more information after this video. Let's talk a little bit about stats and gear. Your stat priority should be number 1, magical healing, number 2, buff duration, number 3, strength, number 4, vigor. Something that's not often mentioned is that your teammates should prioritize buff duration above almost anything else. The reason being that buff duration benefits spells and buffs placed upon you. So if the healer alone has buff duration, it won't help the teammates. Now, walk with me here because I'm a big believer that the path is math. Let's mix in some magical healing on our gear and assume that our teammate has around 50% buff duration, even though a Bisc kit for something like Demon Lock will be up closer to 90% when they have their weapons out. 16 magical healing will be your base. You can assume that Restore hits for 30, and then it has 0.5 or 50% scaling, so 16 divided by half is 8, 8 plus 30 is 38. 38 times 1.5 for the buff duration is 57, and 57 times 3 is 171 healing. So across your team, you're going to heal with 1 restore for 171 health and 57 per teammate. This number is actually a little bit bigger because we're not factoring in will, magic power, or anything else. So if your team understands these core concepts, it will help them understand when go time is. You can coach whoever you're playing with on these concepts so that they understand everything, or if you're lazy, just scream go, go, go as soon as it's time to actually push. So now that we understand gear priority and how to do the math behind your heals, let's talk a little bit about playstyle. Your goal for any fight should be to start in the back line of your team and roll buffs. When the brawling starts, you should start looking to go to their backline and kill squishies. I would be a little bit careful doing this. If you have a wizard or something focused on you, I wouldn't push. But if they're not paying attention, fully commit and try to get a kill. You'll often hear veterans calling this type of movement or this type of gameplay as getting active. You know, you're getting in there doing damage, right? If you play enough Druid, you'll develop good game sense. So don't be afraid to coach your team to success. If you can help take the mental burden off of your teammates and monitor their health bars for them, they'll be a much more effective damage dealer. And the easiest way that you can communicate that they're in danger is by saying one word: live. Live, live, live. Everybody understands this, and for me, if I'm communicating this stuff to my teammates and they just ignore me and they die, I'm probably going to go find a new team. There's a lot more to playing Druid than you would think, so I'd recommend checking out the Pro Tips video and the PvP guide down in the description below. And don't forget, you can hit that join button to get access to the top secret videos. Anyways, thanks for coming to my dungeon talk. Goodbye.